Luck isn't just about throwing sixes and finding four-leaf clovers. Sometimes it's about being at the right place at the right time.
Side at the cottage just over my shoulder is where they had been growing cannabis.
After flyers and social media posts were to no avail, the dog and his napper walked right into the missing pet's news report.
We start asking the man a few questions, and he admits to taking the animal.
He was just barking in the car, and I walked past the car, and I realized I thought it was supposed to be dog walking. It wasn't a kidnapping, it was just a simple mistake.
That's when we called Cambridge Police.
When you're stuck on a tricky side mission, and the game generates you a helping hand. He waited till the perfect moment to give Neptune the coldest rejection. For someone who has to save shots from the likes of Mbappe, facing a water bottle wasn't too difficult. When ducking down the reload proves that offense is the best form of defense. They really put the shock value into their marketing strategy with this one. Luckily, he wasn't quite their target audience. Now that's a cop who's a pro at taking the trash off the streets. And that's what perfect delivery looks like. When he speaks,
but the country as a whole,
the world reacts. This old lady ignored all the red flags. Luckily for her, a human green flag was there to save her from danger. Sometimes it just takes a perfectly placed car to complete the ultimate police escape.
Bye, have a great time.
He may have forgotten to put on the handbrake, but he definitely didn't forget to put on his running shoes that day. He didn't exactly have his head in the game, but it didn't turn out to be an issue. Here's a perfect combination of bad luck, good luck, and quick reflexes, all without disturbing the peace. When this news report was interrupted by a road rage incident, this police officer instantly shifted from interview to scolding mode.
Both of you, grow up! Come on, boys!
Who knew the school teacher voice worked on adults too?
Everybody's a winner. Don't worry.
The thing about road rage is, the longer it drags out, the more likely it is for this to happen.
Tengo grabada la agresión de este idiota. Está poniendo mi integridad en riesgo.
Never ignore your instincts going to the bathroom. Although, judging by how his chair bailed on him, he might take a minute to trust the toilet seat. Sometimes the stars align to give you the perfect outcome. But here, it was just trees. Some say late-night stakeouts are boring. Others know it can be the perfect opportunity to spawn trap a criminal. Of all the places to make a really dumb driving choice, at the entrance of a fire department is probably best. FYI, no one was harmed. Sure, Keanu Reeves is badass, but can he do this? Living on the edge is all fun and games, until you almost drive off it. I don't know you, but maybe cyclists get a bad rep for a reason at times. These boulders had a job and a job to do, and nobody was gonna prevent them from doing it. When you've just bought new shoes and even water waits for you. This guy knew he could outrun the owner of the phone he just robbed, but escaping a vigilante on a motorbike? Not even Usain Bolt could do that. She walked right into that one. But nothing wakes you up quite like a cold splash of water. Never mind shooting webs and fighting villains. A man who could save your beer like that is the real hero we need. Ah, the old switcheroo. Making sure this thief only came away with an old brick phone as a result of his bus heist. Knowing you have luck like this must be a massive weight off your shoulders. But you know what's even better? Liking and subscribing. They say man's best friend for a reason, for getting each other out of spots like this. After being given a second chance like that, he never took boring school days for granted again. Cloudy with a chance of just backing out of a very annoying afternoon of sorting out insurance policies. This isn't your normal kite flying in the park. It's all about danger and adrenaline, but with strings attached. It was at this moment they realized, not just sneezing, but the world was at their fingertips. Golf may be a slow-paced game, but every now and then, there's no time to shout, "Forward!" One step forward was the difference between a dust attack and a very big headache. That vehicle looks far from agile, but all those years of playing Snake on his Nokia paid off big time. And that, my friends, is how I met your mother. With all the amazing athletes on the planet, sometimes it's the animal kingdom that reigns most impressive. Most fishermen wait hours for a bite. He just lets his dinner jump right into his basket. If either of those vehicles were 1 second off, this would be in a totally different kind of video. Some people have natural agility, but this lady was born with her own force field. When your local emergency services arrive before you even call them. I like to see Tom Brady play quarterback and receiver like this. When test driving a brand new Ferrari, it's probably best not to floor it, unless you've got the reaction speed of an F1 driver. If you thought the worst thing that could come out of a traffic violation was getting a ticket, well, think again. And that's what I call the reverse of shame. He shot, he scored. Not just with this hoop, but getting a wife that laughs off pranks like that. Oh look, missing persons report. And oh, there's the missing person.
Good news and a happy ending right now. The gentleman behind us you're looking at, that is Robert McDonough. We were doing our last live shot at the bottom of the hour, and we saw a gentleman just kind of walk up behind us, and he identified himself as Bob McDonough. Of course, wardens say he has dementia here, and he's been missing for the last 16 hours. But as you can see, members of the Maine Warden Service identifying him as Robert McDonough.
Not all dogs are street smart, but this little guy made it its mission to give his owner the highest anxiety ordeal possible. Even if you do everything right, cycle well, and wear your helmet, it's still a roll of the dice when it comes to nature's sudden interventions. Stop signs have left the chat. This near miss would be kind of satisfying if it wasn't terrifying. Good luck beating a guy in dodgeball who can fold his body like a napkin. They thought he was saving them from getting a ball to the face, but he had something even better in mind. Desk duty suits some cops. With those reactions, though, he's right where he needs to be. They were in the wrong place, but at the right time. The world has its way of telling you things, like when your attempt to steal the newspaper ends up putting you on the noose. One small throw for mankind. One huge dream achieved for this guy.
Place a Native American.
He doesn't avoid traffic when he crosses the road. Traffic avoids him. Dodging a missile on your drive to the supermarket isn't a daily thing, but this is Russia after all. Add being mistaken for a plane runaway to the list of possible things to happen when driving. This driver is clearly in a rush to get to the cemetery. Mission failed successfully? Of course, he was aiming for that bullseye. Running out of gas isn't a problem when you've mastered the rewind feature. People can be so competitive. This SUV driver just had to make sure he did the worst traffic violation of the day. This elevator may go up, but getting back down again is where things take a turn. Stepping out and taking the stairs certainly elevates your chances of getting to the bottom in one piece. If you're lucky enough to find yourself in this box, finding the best technique to maximize your profits is essential. And he was right on the money. Mayday! Mayday! The sky is falling! Or maybe the roof just needs some retiling. Hey, maybe he could have played a good shot too. But I guess we'll never know. You know it's your lucky day when you drive by some free cash on the road. With bus thieves, pickpockets, and moped burglars at large, it was a fish that snatched your iPhone. They both contributed to the group project, just in slightly different ways. No matter how far that ball went, it was always destined to return. Either I'm seeing double, or real life really is a simulation after all. Some people are just made for the big screen, and even in a crowd, he's the star of the show. We trust the quick hands of these guys every game, so catching your iPhone is just a breeze for them. To duck or not to duck? That's the question which separates concussions from lucky escapes. Best friends are for sharing moments like these and laughing at you when you nearly fall into the sea. No safety inspection needed here. The brakes are working just fine on this car. Luckily for him, the window frame was painless. Or that could have been a lot more painful than it was. A gentle head bump at the airport was all this love story needed in order to take flight. Here's what people mean when they say their parents are their real heroes. You know the phrase, coast is clear? Well, I think this might be the opposite of that. That awkward moment when there's someone still in the closed shop you're trying to rob? It's so inconvenient when that happens. Of all the places he could have robbed, he chose a jiu-jitsu academy? Someone needs to pick their opponents better, because that was always a losing fight. These jewelry thieves thought that being armed with sledgehammers made them unstoppable, but their whole plot failed to withstand one thing: a 71-year-old lady with a handbag. Age prevailed over youth in this battle, which goes to show that you're never too old to be Batman. Sometimes quick judgments have to be made, and when his employee was on the other end of a pointed gun, the manager did just that. Some people are just light sleepers. He took that chance and paid the price. He thought his sneak level was 100, but it was more like 10. If there was a prison escape handbook, I'd say the first entry would be not to make a break for it when you're wearing flip-flops. The prisoner thinking he could get away with strolling out of a police van in broad daylight was just as dumb as the guards forgetting to lock the doors. What's worse than everyone witnessing your crime? Not leaving with anything. Kids, if you want to be rebellious, just remember, cameras exist and actions have consequences. Karma doesn't have an age limit, and that homeowner made sure justice was served. If you could get anything on a wheel of fortune, it'd probably be this guy, preventing windscreen repairs that put a dent in anyone's bank balance. When a police suspect proved too quick to catch, up stepped this civilian. He may not have made it as a pro track star, but his speed came in clutch when he outsprinted the target on the run. You may have the speed over the police, but escaping the Flash is a losing race. When two wheels are on the loose, two legs are sometimes needed to stop a rolling disaster. Is anyone noticing a pattern here? You can escape from the law, but justice has its way of catching you. Taking the law into your own hands usually isn't a good idea, but when it's done this way, you'll have every cop's favor from now on. Mr. Miyagi would tell you the same. Thinking smart is most important, and this teacher thought fast and reacted even quicker. Gravity may fail you, but true friends never will. And although for safety reasons I can't show you all the footage, don't worry, he got off without a scratch. Next time someone underestimates you for your size, remember this: even a tugboat can save a ferry from crashing. Bravery doesn't come in sizes. Being in the right place at the right time isn't always possible, yet here you are. So why not hit that like and subscribe button? See ya!